They say insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. But what if you relive the same day over and over again? Then what would happen? You'd probably go mental. That's what. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. Not going mental. Groundhog Day. Yes, so I'm going to be doing the critically film Groundhog Day review. So I will just get my information here on Groundhog Day. I'll tell you the plot myself, but I just want to give you the scores. For anyone who hasn't seen it, it's got an 8 out of 10 out of IMDb. It got a 96% on Rotten Tomatoes, 72% on Metacritic, and it came out in 1993. It's a comedy romance film it got put as, and it's about an hour 41. So it's got some good reviews. The director, who is the director of this film, is Harold Ramis. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Let's see, does it have anything? It came out May 7th. May 7th, 1993 in the UK. So, let's talk about it for a bit. So, the whole concept of the story is there's this news reporter, and he has to go with two other people to this town that he does not like. He hates covering the story. It's the story of Groundhog Day. For anyone who doesn't know, Groundhog Day is February 2nd. I believe that it was in this film. I'm sorry if I'm wrong. I believe it was February 2nd. And so he does the day. He gets through the entire day off Groundhog Day. And he wants to go home the next day. He wakes up 6 o'clock and it's still February 2nd. So he's confused at first, and then he has to relive it over and over again. Then he starts to realize he's just reliving the same day over and over again. Then he just starts to do whatever he wants. He punches out a guy who has started to annoy him. He gets to know a bunch of women, starts to sleep with them. He gets to know everybody in this town that he just doesn't like. And then he wants to try and ask out or sleep with his co-anchor or another lady. He tries to get as much information as he can. Each time he tries to make the perfect setup, the perfect date essentially, the perfect way to know her. So he keeps doing that over and over again, and eventually it just doesn't work. He does other things, like a lot of times he just tries to kill himself multiple times, and then he just wakes up again 6 o'clock in the morning, February 2nd, Groundhog Day. So he repeats this over and over again until he gets to a point where he does the perfect day, essentially. He lives exactly how he should. He becomes the perfect person. He becomes the nicest person from being like an angry, greedy man. He becomes one of the best people that they can be. And eventually, at the end of it, he gets his wish. He thinks he wakes up again. Turns out it's February 3rd, so he finally gets to go past February 2nd, so he's finally finished Groundhog Day, and he's woken up with the woman that he wanted to be with from the beginning of the film. Well, not from the beginning, but from like the middle bit of the film, I'd say. So, that's the main plot of the film. Now, was this film any good? Yes, it is a good film. I can understand why a lot of TV shows have done reference to it, like that they've done it again, done the same episode, done the same story again and again as a reference to Groundhog Day, because it is an interesting concept. I really like the concept of the film. Now, the first time I watched it, I don't think it was that long ago that I watched it. I think it was maybe like last year, so it was the first time I seen it, and it was on one of those films that I wanted to see for a while. It was on my bucket list of films, if you will. Now, what star am I gonna give this? Now, honestly, this wasn't my favorite film. I don't know if I'd watch it again anytime soon, just because in terms of like old films or old films back in the day, like I'd rather watch Back to the Future or Jurassic Park or something. I know this came out in '93, but those were old, and I'd prefer to watch them, just because like I liked the film, but it wasn't like what I was expecting. I guess I had too much hype over it, and I wanted to watch it for so long that it wasn't quite there for me. So in terms of a star rating out of 10, I think I'm gonna give it 6.5. Now that might be the lowest star rating I've given so far, but it's, again, you've got to keep in mind, this is my opinion. I'm not basing it off how it was completely as a film. I sort of am, but I am basing a lot on my opinion, how enjoyable I found it to watch. Obviously, I told you what the scores were in the beginning of the video, so you know it is a decent film. If you have about an hour 45, about an hour 45, I'd say, to kill, go for it, watch it. It's worth a watch. It's definitely an interesting film. And that brings me to actually one of the questions I had. After I watched this film, I asked quite a few people, some of my family, asked a couple of friends I know, I asked them what would their Groundhog Day be. Now I'm going to pose the question to you guys, and you can help me. These are the rules. You pick one day that you have to relive for 6 months. So you're going to relive the same day. I don't know how long he lived it for, but I'm going to say you're going to relive the same day for about 6 months. You are. So for example, it'd be January 1st when you started this. So for example, you picked a day that was like Groundhog. For example, you picked February 2nd for some reason, just because you really enjoyed that day. But it's actually January 1st of whatever you're in. Let's say it's 2021. So it's January 1st of 21, but you're in February 2nd, 1998, because you really liked a day in 1998 for some reason. So then 2021 continues, keeps going until you get to June 30th. But and whatever you do on June 30th, which is your February 2nd, for example, in 1998, so whatever you do June 2nd there, June 30th there will matter. So, for example, when you start your Groundhog Day for 6 months, you can do whatever you want constantly, no consequences, no backlash, because you're just going to wake up in the morning. So if you die, you'll just wake up. If you do something wrong, you'll just wake up. If you said something bad, you'll just wake up, and next day, everything will be fine. You could relive whatever day you wanted as many times as you wanted, but when you got to June 30th, you'd have a warning at the beginning of the day of it. Like, this is your last day. He obviously didn't have a warning, but you will for this example. For my question, you have a warning saying today is technically June 30th, 2021. You're still on February 2nd, 1998. On this last day, whatever you did actually mattered. So whatever you try to do, make sure you've done it good, make sure you have the perfect day, make sure you live that day to the fullest, because the next day you will wake up will be July 1st to 2021. And if you're wondering how would that work, because obviously how do people know that I'm doing these days? You'd still be doing those days, but it's just, it wouldn't be different you, if you know what I mean. So hopefully that makes a bit of sense, but the general question is, what day would you relive for about 6 months? That's more the question. The extra bit, hopefully you understood the detail, but the main question is, what day would you relive for at least 6 months? What would your Groundhog Day be? Just because I think it's interesting to see what people answer on what day they choose. I have my day. I know what my Groundhog Day would be personally, but I'm not going to share that with you because it's a bit of a personal story. So I think I'm just going to leave it there. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you enjoyed my Groundhog Day review. Now I'm going to do a little bit update on these film reviews. Coming up soon, hopefully when cinemas start to open, I won't be doing classic films anymore, so film review will change. You probably won't get a film review every Wednesday. I will just be reviewing any new film that comes out, and I'll try and get it out to you maybe on the Saturday or the Monday, depending on when I get a chance to watch a film that I like. So film review will be stopping soon, but for now I will still do it. I think you probably get at least 5 or 6 of old films. And if there is a brand new film coming out and there was a prequel to it, I will try and cover it before I watch the actual film to let you know if you need to watch the prequel after you watch the real one. But for now, that is it. So I will see you guys again for another video. Alright, bye.